Hello friends, today I want to talk about enums. Enums is also one of the most important um, stuff that you need to know when you are coding, and especially in Java, enums are known as the constants that you have to use them, and you can define them, and you can represent the list of, like, multiple constants into the single entity. Enums are considered to be static and final, so which means you cannot change them. The value of the enums are just unchangeable, you cannot change them. And next thing, enum can be written as a separate entity like a class, and where you can get all different sections, values, or you can get enum to just represent itself as a constant. So let's go through that, some other different ways where you can define enums. So here are two ways. One is you can get class. Inside the class you can define the enum as a constant, or you can do enum on its own. So let's go through class first, and then so that I can get you going. So let's say this my I'll just write my quick demo. Here, if you want to see, I'll just write main method. It's called and if you see here, this is how you would define enum. So public enum, you don't have to do public, but just let's say I want to do something with the days, right? And the days are Sunday, and then you just do this. So it's very easy. So all it does is, it all covers here. So now days are being represented by any one of this, right? So each one of these are the days. That's part of the enum. So when you say this means days has a constants values. Those are Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You cannot change them. It could not be just the days, you could be anything that you want to store them as a list of the values. Okay, don't get confused. You need like days or months, or you could put anything. We can do that practice also. So for this one, I just want to print the values. So I want to say um, so I'm just printing here. For here, just watch this. So to get the Sunday, I cannot get that just Sunday like that, right? So you have to get days dot Sunday, right? Now you see the options what you want to put, right? So days dot Sunday, days dot Tuesday, like that. So you have to get these and then dot. So just take this as a class that has static variables like that. So days dot Sunday. So now if you want to run this, you will see obviously Sunday here. So let's do one more exercise where you can actually pass this enums into the parameter, and then you can run that as a parameterized. So public void get my day, and when you pass the parameter for these values, you have to pass just like you would pass for any, like a string type or something, right? So for here, this case, this is the days, so you have to pass the days d, right? And here what I want to do is I can even move a step ahead. So I'm going to write this a switch case here, and because you can write any conditions, switch case, and then here I would put d for the days. That's the variable I have. Now I am going to put the case is now in the case I put the values, because I cannot put the string values here like this, because that's the enum. You would just call that as a day, and you see how easy it is. So case this, I would just write system out println day is Sunday, right? and then I would write Saturday. Day is Saturday, and default I'll write. You can carry on continuing doing each one of these if you want. I'm just going to get this quick video, so I'll put uh, is working day, and then here I'll just break this guy out. So I just get this, the days as a parameter. These are the days that I want to pass. If anybody is calling this guy over, they have to pass these days anywhere, class, whatever you do, right? So let me call this method to run m dot get my day, and now I have to pass the days. And in this case, the days I would pass the same way I would do like here. So it has to be days dot like this, right? So now I'm going to, instead of Sunday, I'm going to just say Monday, and watch this, it is going to print me from this guy. So default is a working day, so okay, that is coming from default. So if I want to put Saturday and then I run, obviously it would say this is Saturday, right? So that's one of the way you could do enum, which works just like that. It is working as a constant. And there's another way you would define the enum, which would be just creating like a class. So this is very important. Very watch this clearly or carefully. So you would click at, just like you do class, now you do enum, write down as Toyota cars. That would be just Toyota cars. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to brand some of the Toyotas. So let's say they are Camry. I would put some values here, and then I would put another one which would be Corolla, and I'll put another one which would be Highlander. I would put another one which is a 4Runner. And you say 4, and then I would put another one which is a Tacoma, and I'll just end this out. So here I want to put some of the values. What the Camry is, Camry is basically 6-cylinder car, and Camry can be $25,000, and Camry could be of silver color, or let's put that as a gasoline, right? The gasoline type, and let's do some similar things for each one of those. Okay, and then this. So if you go to Tacoma is obviously 8-cylinder. It does not come in at 20,000. Let's put 40,000. It is a gasoline. 4Runner, obviously it would cost more than that. It is 8-cylinder, obviously. There can be 12-cylinder too. Highlander 6-cylinder, it does not come in that price. It would be 42,000. If you go to Corolla can be 20,000, and it is obviously 4-cylinder, right? And then here all we're doing is we are getting some of the values as a constant, but this constant is not the constant the way we just did. This is a little bit different. It does more than that, because when you call this, it is going to represent you all 3 different sections of the data, which means it is representing what gas type, how much would it cost, and what is the engine size, right? So these are the things that you would see. So here we have to get each one of these values defined. So let's do that. Private string cylinder size, right? And then let's not do this, let's do this instead. And then there's the price is int, we don't want decimal. So we can if we want. So int price, right? And then string, this would be gasoline type. So we got three different private variables. Let's get the constructor for this. String cylinder size int, and you have to mention this as the same order that your enum is being defined, because if you move this over here and there, it would represent all different things. So now it is taking all, each one of the section is being splitted, and it goes through this. So you have to go through same sequence, you cannot move that here and there. This dot cylinder size equals, right? So let's do that. Gasoline type, price is price. So here what we did is we just created a constructor to set these values up, and here what we did, we just defined the private instances of these all individual values. We have a enum list that represents all different sets of the data. So what we want to do is, because these are the private and we want somewhere somebody is going to access them, so to do that, what we do, we create some getter public methods. So we would have to get each one of these, because that's how we will be accessing. So public string get cylinder size, then it's a string, so you return the value, return cylinder size. So let's do that for other ones too. And this is the price, so we'll do price. This guy is bigger. Other one is gasoline type. Okay, gasoline type, and that is there. Wait, what happened here? That is not that, that is a cylinder type. Okay, so that pretty much all set. So what happened here? Oh, int, that is int. So we're all set here. So what we did is we defined list of the enums, so that represent all different sets of the values, and we have some private instances, and we have a constructor that stores the values, and then we have a getter method so that we can get these values to be represented from anywhere outside. So which means you want to get each section of the data. So we don't want to end up writing, okay, Camry would cost 6,000, and then write another line, Camry would have a gasoline engine and Camry with 6 cylinders. We don't want to write that, but we have enum which defines all of this, which it has a built-in feature. We're just splitting the values so that we can even use each individual section. Okay, to do this, we have three sets of the data, 1 2 3. We have three getters, and based on what we want, that's what we're going to provide. So let me copy this so that we can use this outside of this. So I have a quick demo here. All I'm doing is just printing it out. I'll print out how much the dot Camry, right? Camry. You could just print this out and see what it does. Okay, Camry. When you do Camry, it just prints Camry. But now if you want to get inside the Camry dot get, now call my method. Now see what it does. It is going to tell you what size cylinder. it it is going to call from that inside. Right now you want to get the price, just get the same thing. So dot get gasoline price, let's say price, right? So now you want to get dot, see how easy it is, get gasoline type. So now it is going to give you all this information from each individual section. You see this? So that's how enum can be used. So this is very useful when you talk about, let's say you have instances where you want to have a similar data that is restoring all different sets of the values, right? For example, here if you want to talk about Camry is the only one data, but that represents all different features, right? So you can represent all different things within the same enum, and you can utilize based on what you want by creating this getter methods, which is very helpful. And there are certain limitations that you don't want to rely all this on, right? But there may be some situation which you want to implement this way, so that you know, you can have lots of easy, or your coding would get very easy and clean, rather than defining each as a public, static, final, string, like that, right? So that's about it. I hope this has been very helpful, and you know, this has helped you understanding how enum would work. And you would have, I just formatted, and then you would be able to define both ways. This is just the difference, this is only the constant, it does nothing else. But here if you go, it would just work as all different sets of the values, right? So that's the main purpose of enum here, when you create enum on its own versus when you are just creating enum inside the classes. And you know, so separate ways, separate ideas, you know, different things, different scope, right? So based on what you want. Thank you very much for watching my video, and please continue to do so, and please subscribe my channel and watch my videos. We look forward to talk about the next Java topic in next lesson. See you in the next video. Thank you very much, and have a good day.